The Chicago Bears may have pulled off one of the biggest draft steals in recent memory by landing wide receiver Luther Burden III, a player whose name may not yet be echoing across the national media, but whose skill set demands attention. For Bears fans hoping to see Caleb Williams flourish in his rookie year, Burden may be the secret ingredient that makes it all work. On the surface, critics have been quick to place Burden into a box, labeling him a gadget player, limited in usage, more flash than substance. The comparisons are already flying. Tavon Austin, Mecole Hardman, even Wan'Dale Robinson. All respectable talents in their own right, but none blossomed into the kind of all-around threat teams build game plans around. However, that narrative may be based more on surface-level college usage than actual tape. Because once you dig into the detail, once you analyze how Luther Burden moves, separates, and controls defenders, it becomes clear this is not just another speed guy. Head coach Ben Johnson, the offensive architect who made Detroit's Amon-Ra St. Brown a household name, couldn't contain his excitement after the Bears landed Burden in the second round. Cameras caught him laughing in disbelief that the versatile Missouri standout was still available. He's a stud, a playmaker, a guy who can stop on a dime, make people miss in space, and stretch the field vertically, Johnson reportedly said after the pick. That's not lip service. That's a coach who sees Burden as more than a slot receiver or gimmick threat, but as a weapon tailor-made for his system. The comparisons to names like Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, and Jamar Chase might seem lofty, maybe even unfair, but they're grounded in one key truth. All of those receivers were misunderstood coming out of college. Jefferson was labeled a slot-only guy. A.J. Brown was seen as scheme-limited. Chase faced doubts about hands and polish. And now, they're among the most feared wideouts in the NFL. Burden's college tape, when viewed through the right lens, starts to echo that same tune. Before we dive deeper, if you're enjoying this breakdown of the Chicago Bears' young talent, make sure to subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. We're covering the Bears like nobody else, from breaking news to film analysis, draft insights, and player development. Let's build something special together. Bear down, back to the story. The analytics community, usually reliable in forecasting fantasy breakouts, seems to be caught in a bit of confusion with Burden. His limited usage and small sample size have created misleading statistical impressions. But when you analyze the how of his play, not just the what, the truth shines through. Let's talk technique. Burden doesn't just run routes, he manipulates defenders. He understands pacing, how to shift gears mid-route to gain leverage. He stacks defensive backs early and late, controlling angles with veteran-like awareness. His head fakes, body positioning, and route breaks are not things gadget guys tend to do consistently. But Burden does. This is a player who can separate on vertical routes, win across the middle, and burn defenders after the catch. In fact, when compared side by side on tape with players like Justin Jefferson and Chris Olave, Burden shows many of the same route traits: sharp breaks, suddenness, deceptive tempo. But because Missouri often used him behind the line of scrimmage, many analysts never saw the full picture. It's a classic case of college scheme hiding NFL potential. Even A.J. Brown came into the league with questions about whether he was more of a slot bruiser than a true WR1. He shattered those doubts with precise footwork, elite separation, and toughness after the catch, all traits Burden has shown on film. But here's the exciting part. Burden might actually be a better fit for Ben Johnson's offense than any of those guys were for their rookie situations. Johnson's scheme thrives on movement, deception, and timing. It doesn't rely on overpowering cornerbacks with brute force. It breaks them down mentally. And that's where Burden excels. When defenders play him close, he uses angular releases to dictate their leverage. When they play off, he manipulates tempo to bait them into missteps. And in tight spaces, he consistently gains separation, often dropping his hips with startling fluidity for a man of his build. He's not just a slot option. He can play flanker, line up outside, or even run end-arounds and backfield motions. But don't let the versatility fool you. Burden isn't just versatile, he's dangerous. Which brings us to an important point. Caleb Williams. The Bears' new franchise quarterback is going to need receivers who can adjust on the fly, find soft spots in coverage, and create windows when things break down. Burden is exactly that kind of player. Despite all the chatter about too many mouths to feed in Chicago's receiving room, let's be real. Success in the NFL doesn't come from talent collection. It comes from fit. And few fits are more perfect than Luther Burden in a Ben Johnson-designed offense. Luther Burden's rookie season won't be judged by fantasy points or highlight reels. At least not by those who understand football. It'll be judged by impact. Will he consistently win on 2nd and 7 slants? Will he stretch the defense vertically to open up space for others? Can he build chemistry with Caleb Williams in scramble drills and option routes? If the answer is yes, and the film says it is, then the Bears didn't just get a good player. They got a future cornerstone. Let's not forget, this is a team that has spent the last few years rebuilding its identity. New quarterback, new head coach, new culture, and now, potentially, a new offensive weapon who can redefine how this team attacks opposing defenses. The best part? He's already shown he's ready, even if the national media isn't. Sure, there's been talk of soft tissue issues keeping him out of early practices, but insiders close to the situation suggest that the holdup may be more contractual than physical. Once the ink is dry on his rookie deal, expect Burden to be back on the field and making noise immediately. There's a quiet confidence in Halas Hall right now, one that says, we know what we've got, and what they've got might be one of the most complete, versatile young receivers in the NFL draft class. Not a gimmick, not a gadget, a game changer. And in a league where separation, timing, and football IQ rule the day, Luther Burden might just become the name that every defensive coordinator starts circling in red ink. The Chicago Bears are building something real. Caleb Williams may be the headline. Ben Johnson might be the architect. But don't be surprised if Luther Burden becomes the engine that makes the whole thing run. For fans, the message is clear. Don't buy the hype. Believe the tape. The truth is right in front of us, and it wears navy and orange. If you're excited about what's happening at Halas Hall, subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and turn on notifications. We're diving deep into every storyline all off-season long. From rookie breakdowns to scheme analysis, we've got your Bears coverage locked in. Bear down.